Hey, who knew it was so difficult to make an extra point? And hey, what planet, Ralph, is Adam Troutman on? Do you know? Dave's boyfriend's back, looks as good as ever. And who knew the refs would screw the Saints again? Thomas, hit the intro.
This is Sean Payton, head coach of the New Orleans Saints. What's with this Saints Happy podcast? This has to be the worst Saints podcast in the world. Ralph can't say anyone's name right. Andrew doesn't know football. Everyone has a hard time listening to Dave. And is Kevin even there tonight? The audio with this podcast, my God, the audio, it's painful.
All right, everybody, welcome to another edition of Saints Happy Hour podcast. We are live on Twitch. If you aren't following us on Twitch, remember to subscribe to Saints Happy Hour wherever you get your podcast, and you should follow us on Twitch. Also, become an annual patron at patreon.com/Saints Happy Hour to get the best Saints podcast every day. If you become an annual patron, you get a month for free. I just heard the ching noise right before we started. So that means we got a new sub, Ashton One Young. He did it. Errol in Uptown NOLA. He signed up as well. Guys, we always appreciate you signing up. It's the best way to support the show.
You got Dave, a little eggnog.
Yeah.
That's
and
right.
Remember,
in the holiday spirit.
It's the holiday spirit. And in the holiday spirit, remember, guys, if you subbed with Amazon Prime last month, you can sub again this month before Thanksgiving. Basically, you get one free sub every month. All you have to do is click the subscribe button below the stream and choose option subscribe with Prime. Show us the love because it doesn't cost you anything and it helps us out a lot. And Thomas set it up to where now, if you subscribe to us on Twitch, you get access to our amazing Discord community. Discord today was amazing. Just send us a DM. Say you're a Twitch Prime supporter. Thomas will give you the Discord. Cha-ching, Thomas! Jump in and tell the people who just subscribed.
CP Ranger 1, thanks, man. Has Prime with the Twitch Prime.
All right.
Dave, you got a little fat guy in little coat thing going, huh?
Fat guy in a little coat. Fat guy in a little coat.
Here's the thing. It wouldn't be... There's nothing more traditional than turkey at Thanksgiving. And, Dave, the Saints getting shafted by the referees. Thomas, play that horrible roughing call. It's horrific. Andrew, I don't know what was more upsetting, the roughing the passer call or the fact that the Saints can't kick an extra point.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I mean, I like to complain about the refs at this point. It's very on brand for the Saints. It seems. Here it is. I'm right on cue. Thank you, Thomas, for showing this to us. What a pick, by the way, by Marcus Williams.
Yeah.
What a travesty that gets waved. Yeah, Ralph, you knew this. As soon as that said flag on the screen, you're like roughing the passer.
Yeah.
You knew it right on cue.
Yeah.
Couldn't have been holding.
And I knew because they blitzed. And my thing was, I was expecting
Look
it to
at
be
the refs
Dave.
are so excited to call this and wave off the pitch.
Yeah,
you can just tell in his face. He's pumped.
That's Jerome Boger. I mean, we've all been watching Jerome Boger for years now.
He's terrible.
He is a veteran.
Here it is, right here. Here we go. Oh, that's roughing the passer, definitely.
I have a
100%.
semi-lukewarm take, I guess, in that I would say, I'm upset about. At the time, obviously, I was upset about the call, but we kind of got it back because we kind of got a BS call late in the game that kept our drive alive. That was kind of questionable. So
pass interference.
Some of that kind of evens out.
No, but the pass interference, we would have kicked a field goal, so that's a 4-point swing. Whereas,
well, what frustrates me, what's worse about
the extra point is just
what's different about it is that the whole momentum thing is really what screwed the Saints by not getting that call, is because it's a 6-6 game at that moment. Marcus Williams gets the interception right when Tennessee thinks they're going to score. if the Saints go and score a touchdown on the ensuing drive, that's practically a 12, 14 point. I'll say 12 points because we can't
What?
kick a. I'll say 13
Yeah,
points because
yeah,
we can't kick an extra point. So I'll
We
give them
can't. The
7.
Saints.
I'll give
The
them
Saints
7. I'll
have
take
missed
6 for us. So
5
that's 13 points.
consecutive point afters.
Yeah,
Either
I
they
know.
went for 2 and missed, or they just straight up missed the extra point. That's incredible. Thanks, Biloxi Blues. He signed up for a month. Yes, we appreciate you.
But anyway,
Guys,
but that's
yeah.
why I mean that's the worst part about it is the momentum swing totally changes if they don't make that call. If Marcus Williams gets to keep that interception, Saints get the ball to 25. Maybe the Saints then go down, call a at least get points. Maybe not a touchdown, but at least get points or whatever. And the whole game is totally different. Butterfly effect, whatever. So that's what's frustrating.
Tiger Saint says that the Saints have missed 7 extra points to date,
Oh
including going for 2. 7.
They haven't had a 2-point. They've missed 8 straight 2-point conversions, which is just ridiculous. Dave, as far as kicking, Garrett Hartley, he came out of the duck blind, and he's apparently kicking 60-yard field goals at Tulane Stadium.
He was at Yeoman. Was that today?
He was
Yeah,
at
that's
Yeoman.
There it
Sign him. Get him there. Look at this.
It is not. It's. I don't care if he makes 60. I don't even know why he's bothering with 60-yard field goals. We don't need somebody to make 60-yard field goals. We need somebody to make extra points.
Yeah.
We
Show me your accuracy inside of 30 and you're good. Yeah.
No, he's kicking from the he's kicking from beyond the angry wave in this. That's from the 40-yard line, from the opposing 40-yard line. That's fine. Look, again, I don't care how far you can kick it. I care how straight you can. Right now, if this was golf, I would take my father, who's 83 years old, who can only hit it 120 yards, but he hits it straight. I'll take that over, Bryson DeChambeau, who can freaking drive it 400 yards, but you don't know whether it's going to go into the trees or whatever. I mean, right now, our current field goal kicker, he has a hook worse than my 9-iron. Everything he kicks, whoop to the left.
Except on field goals, he's perfect. It's only extra
Holy
points.
Jesus
It's only extra
H.
points.
I mean, Ralph, you have one bad arm, but you still qualify for the kicking job.
Well,
you have 2 legs.
I
You have 2
legs.
feet.
The
you have
plant
all
leg
10
would be
toes.
weak, though. The plant.
I
leg.
think I might want Ralph at tight end. I think he's already taken at tight end. We can't use him at kicker. Can't use him at both, can we?
Well, here's the thing.
Goodness,
Speaking,
Jesus, this is how we remember the years. What was that? 2007, 2000 was that 2008? I mean, we cycled through Grammatica, Olindo Mare,
Melford,
we drafted Taylor Melhoff. This is way worse than that. This just feels.
It is.
This
It does
feels
feel
like.
worse.
This
It
feels
worse.
like. What? Is there something below hell? This feels below hell. This feels
Well-
below Saints kicker hell. Whatever is below. This is sub hell. This is.
Remember
holy
when all of NFL Twitter was telling us that I promise this year it's really coming, salary cap hell. Well, Saints kicker hell is way worse. Way
Saints
worse.
kicker hell is 1,000 times worse than salary cap hell.
Holy cow! I cannot believe it is this bad. But I will take anybody from our past who can still kick. Kai
What's Don
Forbath.
Carney doing?
I don't know. Oh my! Please, somebody! My God!
Shane
is there a
Graham?
soccer player?
Saints
Is there
legend
somebody?
Shane
Is there
Graham?
somebody playing soccer? Does Newman have a goalie or something who kicks the ball really far? Please, somebody! Somebody has to be better than what the hell we have.
Remember the female LSU soccer goalie that tried out for LSU's football team as a kicker?
Yeah.
No,
Get her.
Isom. Yeah, let's get her. What's she
You
up
know
to?
who we need? We need Kathy Ireland from Unnecessary Roughness. We need freaking Kathy Ireland. What is Kathy? I'm not talking about Kathy Ireland from 1992 when Unnecessary
I'm
Roughness.
talking about Kathy Ireland now.
Now, what is she doing now at 58?
Yeah.
I will take her now at 58 as our kicker. My gosh.
Did
My
you
God.
just make that up? 58, or is she actually?
No,
58?
she's got to be close. I mean, I'm.
Well, here's
Actually,
the thing.
Yeah.
Here's the
I'm
thing.
40,
As
40,
as
I thought.
angry
He is 58 years old.
as
Full
angry
legs.
as Dave.
No way, I
is-
nailed it.
You nailed it.
Wow.
How did you know that?
I didn't. I just made that up. That was
Oh,
just a
that's
good guess.
unbelievable.
Wow.
He's 58
like a-
years old.
That's like a half court shot.
That is like from downtown.
Well,
I hope, Dave. I hope you picked the Saints to win on Sunday.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah, yes, I do.
He doesn't remember.
I
doesn't
do remember.
remember.
I do remember, and I won't give it away.
Well, here's the thing: as fired up
58
as
now.
Dave and as angry as Dave is about the kicking situation, I thought Sean Payton, Andrew, I thought he was going to straight up murder a media member during his post-game press conference yesterday. Thomas, play the sound about him talking about the bad call. Woo!
What was the explanation on the roughing the passer play?
No explanation.
So,
There wasn't an explanation. What do you want me to say?
I was just
You want my
saying-
opinion on it?
yeah.
No, no opinion on it.
I
Next
mean,
question.
You can see the fire just coming out of his. He's gonna.
Did you have the other clip where he calls her Catherine?
Yeah, I didn't use that one.
Oh,
When he,
that's like when
It
your mom
escalates
like
from
uses
there.
your
You want
full
to
name.
expose her, you know?
That's like
Yeah.
when my mom, says David Vincent Cariello.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
then
he
you're really
was.
in trouble.
Sean Payton had no chill after that game, and rightfully so.
Yeah, rightfully
Um,
so. And good for Kat for asking the question, because you know what? She might have been the only person in that room to quote unquote have the balls. And I know Kat doesn't have balls, but quote unquote have the balls
know?
to even ask that question. No, I don't know, but I mean, I would
He knows
assume.
Kathy Ireland is 58 years old. I'm going to go with his gut on this.
That's right. That's right. I don't want anybody to question me ever again on this podcast. Ever again.
Well, and the other soundbite that was really interesting from Sean Payton, cue it up, Thomas, is and Andrew, I want you to comment after this. Sean Payton, I feel in this soundbite, I can feel him burning a hole in Adam Troutman's soul with his eyes as he says this. Play the soundbite,
I'm going
Thomas.
to burn a hole
I
somewhere
mean,
else.
it's the attention to detail, obviously. We look at it as coaches too, start with me, but then pretty soon we start looking at who's doing it. We start evaluating who's making plays and who's not. It just is what it is. It's our league.
Andrew, you had a theory about Troutman that I thought was really interesting when me and you were talking on the phone. Explain it to the people.
I don't remember. What was this?
I think it's revealed right here on the screen. I think his explanation is it's very simple. Troutman is dumb.
Oh. Is this where? Oh, I remember the theory now.
He's
thank you.
just an idiot. He's
right.
the modern
Yeah.
day Jeremy Shockey.
So here was the thing I was telling Ralph. Like, I know Troutman physically is on the field. Like, I see his body. I see his jersey on his pads. Like, I see him physically there. But I just wonder if his soul, his mind is like, I don't know, in Cabo on vacation.
Yeah,
Or
That's
is
exactly where Shockey would be.
he on, or is he on Mars?
that's right.
You know, or is he lost at sea?
He's a space cadet. He's
Where
in the
is he?
clouds.
Where is he? Where is Adam Troutman mentally?
Not in the game, apparently. The drops, the false start.
Yeah, there's Adam Troutman. Do you see him right there in the corner? Is this
Thomas
like a
with the
game of
Cabo
Where's
thing.
Adam Troutman?
We don't pay Thomas enough. He's in Cabo. I mean, if Nick Vanette was a real person, Andrew, we could get rid of Troutman. He could
Right.
be out of our lives forever. But Nick
Man,
Vanette's not a real person,
This is
so we're
this
stuck
is
with
another this is another reason I love our Discord channel so much. And if you're a patron, you get to go on our Discord channel and chat with Saints fans. And by the way, part of why I love it is we've got lawyers in there telling us about legalese with John Gruden or whatever, and we got doctors in there anytime a Saints player gets injured, and they chime in on that. So we've got a lot of great patrons that give us great information. But today, I think someone said something like, Nick Vanette isn't a true Saints tight end until he breaks my heart dropping his first pass. So, yeah, I guess that's – I mean, next man up. Look, Troutman is such a liability. They need to mix it up. I almost don't care what the next guy does. I don't
Dave,
care if
how
he's
bad
me.
would
I
Nick
don't care if
Vanette
he's
have
worse.
to be to make you pine for Adam Troutman?
Look, I'm gonna remain calm during this whole Troutman conversation, but I want you to know right now that
Our callers aren't.
I'm absolutely livid about it.
Fucking everything up. Fucking everything up.
Last week at the game, I bonded with the guy sitting next to me over my hatred of Troutman, and he could feel my hatred. And look, I've been saying this since before the last 2 weeks. I think I said something on the I said something at least 3 weeks ago, if not 4 weeks ago, if not before the bye, that I didn't even want to use his name on the podcast. I want to refer to him as Fish Boy. He's ever since like I remember he had like a drop in week 2 or week 3, like in the end zone that he should have had, that he dropped. And I knew from the word go, that he's just not a player who comes through in the big moments, and obviously that has shown up even more recently, but I don't, and again, we talked about this last week, like he was out there last week for 88% of the snaps.
He hits and that's the thing, Andrew, he hits that sweet spot of Saints players we hate, where most Saints players that are terrible, they're terrible and they just go away because coaches bench them or whatever. He's in that sweet spot where he's terrible, but the Saints don't have anybody else.
What do you do? Who are you going to replace him with? Who are you going to replace him with? Like, I would suggest little Jordan Humphrey, but he can't even be activated when you have the worst wide receiving core under the Sean Payton era. It's like, I mean, seriously, little Jordan at this point has to be dead to me. I mean, there's no way he's
get some help.
If he's not activated, if he can't crack the lineup now, how are you ever going to crack the lineup?
Well, Dave,
who do you trust more? Do you trust your 9-year-old son to drive your car to the closest grocery?
Wow.
Or do you trust Troutman? Or do you trust Troutman in a clutch situation on the football field?
All right, well, let me ask you this.
Which one do you trust more?
When my son drives the car, and I don't know how he's going to do it. He's going to have to figure out some kind of system where he can reach the pedals and then also steer the wheel. So I'm already gambling on the fact that he's got to be smart enough to come up with a system to even drive the car, because as he is now, there's no way he can do both. So I'm gambling on that fact. And then I'm gambling. So, like, can he hit stuff on the way there? Does he have to get there without hitting anything and getting?
No, he just needs to get there.
Hit stuff.
He just needs to get there.
Then I think he can get there. I'm taking Dylan. I'm taking Dylan.
Well,
because Troutman, I would say it's a 50-50 shot, but I don't even think it is. I think it's like a 25-75. I think it's 25 he makes the play, and 75 he doesn't make the play. And he gets 25 because he's made, at the end of last week, he made some catches. He made some catches on those final drives.
I thought he was going to continue the fourth quarter goodness that he had last week.
And
he
made
was going to build on it.
You predicted that, by the way, Ralph.
I did. I thought he was going to build on the good performance in the fourth quarter last week.
Scorching hot take. Adam Troutman's going to be fire this weekend.
I like Andrew.
That is idiot. You're playing for it.
He's.
That was my PFF analytics guy voice.
I don't think. I think if the Saints, like Ralph said, I think if the Saints were deeper at tight end, I don't think Troutman would be out there making all these mistakes, because I think there's no way that I think they would have already seen all the mistakes he's made, and they would have pulled him and they would have replaced him. There's no way that they haven't seen all the same stuff we've seen leading up to this. Like this game against the Titans cannot be the first time that Sean Payton is looking at the film and being like, oh my gosh, I can't believe Troutman did this, or I can't believe Troutman did that. Like Troutman had like you could put together a low light reel of drops and mistakes and whatever of Troutman just from this season alone. And I think it would take a full. Dave, I think you'd get a good hour out of it. I think.
Are we at the Charles? But the question is, are we?
Yes, it's very Charles Brown-esque. It is very Charles Brown-esque.
Are we at the Charles Brown point where Sean Payton has seen enough?
Yes.
The worst thing.
Are we at that moment?
The worst thing about Adam Troutman is that he has me making googly eyes at Jared Cook.
No, the worst thing about this is that it makes me question whether Sean Payton is only realizing this now. I'm nervous. I'm nervous that Sean Payton is only now realizing how bad Troutman is when we've all seen this for the last 5 weeks. What
were they going to do, though? Nick Vanette was injured, and Garrett Griffin, I don't know. All he is an extra lineman.
Solve your problems with aggression.
And please put just use Taysom as a tight end. I think you.
Well, Here's
I
the
think he'd be
thing,
so
Dave.
much more valuable as a tight end.
Dave,
And I'll talk about Taysom when we start talking about quarterbacks.
well, Dave,
I
your
gotta get more eggnog. What?
your
Yeah, go ahead.
UDFA son is disappointing you. But
Little
your
Jordan.
original BFF, Dave, your boyfriend, he got the Saints
His
rushing
lover.
record. He looked really nice out there, breaking the record, and he gave out
that 2-point conversion.
Well, we'll get to that. But your boyfriend, Dave, he gave a nice shout out to Deuce McAllister when he broke the record. Thomas, play the sound.
Of course he did.
It's just a tremendous blessing. I appreciate it. Still working for much, much more. But to be able to say that, and the story, the organization, a prestigious organization has had a lot of great runners come through, and a lot of great runners will continue to come through. Something to be proud of. So I'm thankful and I'm blessed. That's just another step in the process, and plan to continue to do a lot more.
I just talked to Deuce. He said he's happy for you. What does it mean to break a record of a player of that caliber? And you know him well, too.
Yeah, like I said, he poured into me from a young professional. Like I said, when things weren't necessarily ideal, whether it was my role in offense, whether it was injuries, whatever it may have been, he was always encouraging and supportive, and I appreciate him for that. Yeah, I'm honored to be able to take over Deuce's record because he was a great player. I watched him growing up. He was special. He ran hard. He ran fast. SEC boy, you know what I mean? So I'm thankful. It's a blessing. I'm humbled.
Dave, how excited are you? Is the romance back in full bloom like it was in 2017, 2018?
I like how he's got to get the SEC love in there. Is the romance in full bloom? I've never been more in love in my life. This is like, when you get in a fight with your girlfriend or whatever, you break up and then you make up and then you have the makeup sex. This is like the makeup. It's the best sex. The makeup sex is the best sex.
Sure.
I started him.
Oh man,
we knew he was going
to
to
play wide receiver too.
Yeah, he caught a couple of catches. He had that one wheel route.
He was potentially the Saints' best receiver on the day. But his flea flicker needs a little work.
Yeah.
The flea flicker. Well, I mean, I don't know if I blame that all on Ingram. I mean, it seemed like Tennessee had that one snuffed out, and they were already hitting him behind the line of scrimmage. So, but look,
this play was awesome.
That was the pass. He did great. I knew he was going to do well. I started him on my fantasy team. You knew he was going to have a big day, especially with Alvin out. But even if Alvin was playing, I would have started him anyway because I think he's a great compliment to Alvin. In fact, you know what? The whole 14 thing is kind of growing on me. There's the 41-1-4. It's very symmetrical. You cut them right in half, and it's still symmetrical.
I mean, can you imagine if the Saints, if they didn't have Ingram, Andrew, they'd have been up the creek yesterday.
They signed
Ty
him.
Montgomery's finger got hideously dislocated.
Yeah,
you'd have been running Dwayne Washington. It would have been ugly yesterday without Ingram.
That was disgusting, by the way. I mean, his pinky was literally pointing this way.
Holt. Yeah, he's going to look like Torrey Holt and Brian Balding.
Brian Baldinger, yeah. He's gonna have the ball. That was awful.
Yeah, it was gruesome. It was gruesome. But look, Mark Ingram, he's already, I think, possibly cemented himself as the greatest running back in Saints history, and I'm glad he's back here. I really, really hope that he sticks with us next year so he can continue to pad those stats and endear himself to the fans. But, everything he said in that post-game press conference was perfect. I mean, you couldn't have said it better.
Ralph, would you say he's the best in Saints history?
It's hard.
It's
hard because the thing with running back is longevity that he has is such a valuable quality in my opinion for running back. But like Ingram's best is not Deuce McAllister.
No,
like it's just not. But
close.
Ingram is lasting longer.
You know why? The only reason I would debate you on that is because I don't think Ingram ever had the chance. Yeah, I think if Ingram was a Hazlitt running back, I think he would have done.
Oh, he would have had 350 carries. Yeah.
I think he would have done just the same, if not more, than Deuce did in that time.
I think the
I don't
tiebreaker,
think
though,
I don't think it's fair that Ingram's had to play under Payton.
Deuce
Payton
has
is not
the
a running back.
2006 playoff performance, Andrew, where he won the Eagles playoff game. I think that still gives it to Deuce by a little bit.
Yeah, but look, Ingram has accomplished the impossible feat, which is to make me like an Alabama player. That's really the most shocking
stupid.
of all things.
Wake up.
But Ingram's awesome. I love the guy. We all do. How could you not love Mark Ingram?
No, he's awesome. And
for him to come back and break this record, like, it's so deserved. I remember when he left, how all of that transpired, and I liked Latavius Murray. He ended up being a good Saint, but for the Saints to get Latavius Murray instead of Ingram, and then it turns out like they were only like $500,000 off contractually. Yeah. It was awful. It felt awful. It felt wrong, and we ended up embracing Latavius Murray and all that, and he was fun for a minute, but it just feels right that Mark Ingram's back. You know, he never should have left.
And it's just
well, the other thing I want to say about Mark is, and again, this goes back to him having to play under Payton, but let's look at the game this week, yesterday. Saints have third down on the goal line. They're down a score. They need a touchdown. I don't understand. That's Ingram time. That's four down territory. You have 2 downs from like the 2-yard line. You run Ingram twice. If he doesn't get in the first time, he'll get in the second time. And if it was Hazlitt, I think, and he's got Ingram, that's exactly what happens.
Okay, well, let's not pretend that Jim Haslett is somehow we would benefit from Jim Haslett.
No. But I'm just using that again as an
outside
example.
linebacker coach for the Titans.
Yeah, he was coaching the Titans, right, Dave?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
But I'm using that as an example to compare the different coaches that they've had to work with. But no, seriously, like I'm sorry, but I think Ingram is good enough and was hungry enough yesterday that pissed me off when they were down on the 1, 2, 3 yard line, whatever they were, and they needed that touchdown, and it's third down. They chose to pass. They did the pass to, what was it, Traquan or whatever, and then kicked the field goal. Yeah. I thought for sure that was 4 down territory. I thought that whatever play they were going to run on third down, whatever happened, they were going to run it on fourth. They were going to do something on fourth down anyway. You're so freaking close right there. We always talk about how Sean Payton is aggressive, and sometimes that hurts you, but if you want the coach that does ambush in the Super Bowl, then you also have to get the coach that does other, questionable, crazy things in the regular season game. And I was surprised to see Payton,
solve your problems with aggression.
I was surprised to see Payton that conservative in that moment.
Yeah, I'm with you. I would have
sworn Payton would have gone. Yeah, fine. It doesn't have to be Ingram. It does not have to be Ingram, but you're right there. You're on the doorstep. You need the touchdown. You've missed all these other extra
you're done. If you go for it on fourth, with 5 minutes to go,
you know what? But you know what?
It's over with.
But you know what? So you know what people would say to that? If you can't get in the freaking end zone with 2 downs on the 2 yard line, you don't deserve to win. So screw it anyway. That's just the fact of the matter. That is the fact of the matter.
Well,
this is football.
But one matchup reality.
I don't know if rest in peace. If Allie were alive today, she would have said, "What happened to Sean Payton's balls?" Because that was prime Sean Payton. Be aggressive, get in the freaking end zone. Let's get as many points as we can. I was surprised. I was very surprised.
I agree with you, Dave. The only caveat that I would give is that the Saints were missing the left side of their line. Armstead was out. Pete was out. And Pete's a power player. As much as we love to bang on Pete and hate on him, like he on first and goal from the 5, that's when he's at his best, and he's got to run a dude over.
Put Troutman in there, because if he can't catch and he can't stay on sides, then he better damn well be a good blocker. Because you know what? If he can't block on top of all the other crap that he can't do, then what the hell is he doing on this freaking football team?
Good question.
We got Angry Dave.
Ruiz on the
Solve
other
your
side
problems with
wasn't
aggression.
playing too well either. Cesar Ruiz.
He struggled in the first half.
That draft class, man. Ruiz, Vaughn, Troutman. That draft is starting to feel
Busty.
Horrible.
Well, I mean,
It's starting to
busty,
it's starting
busty
to
would
feel
be like
20
a nice way of putting it.
It's starting to feel 2013-ish with.
Can we talk about Lattimore?
Starting to feel
Well, that's what I was going to get. Well, we got to talk about.
off.
Before we talk about Lattimore, we need to talk about Siemian. I want to just talk about Siemian a little bit. In that, Andrew, he was great in the fourth quarter, but he really struggled in the first half again, back-to-back weeks. How much of the struggles in the first half is him? How much is it the offensive line? How much is it was the receivers being terrible? Like,
I mean, it's all of it. Like I find the Siemian conversation exhausting. Like, what were you expecting? He's the backup quarterback. He probably wasn't even starting without the Taysom Hill concussion.
Backup to the backup.
Like, he's the third string quarterback. So,
all right. Well, I think you and I disagree on this.
Okay. Well, I don't know if you saw this, Dave, but in the broadcast, they stated that Taysom Hill was on a pitch count due to his concussion. So he was limited.
Well, I didn't see that.
So whether they would have gone to Siemian or not, the point was Taysom Hill was not an option. He was not an option to be the quarterback. So maybe they would have picked Siemian anyway, but he wasn't an option.
I mean, that's my thing. I mean, I thought this was the game, the deciding game. I thought that Taysom was healthy, fully healthy. And but you're telling me that maybe that's not the case. I watched the broadcast. I didn't hear them say that. But so then that means what? Next week?
I don't know. I mean, they said that his package was expanded in this game. I don't know if that meant he was still on a pitch count. But Dave, you're muted. But he was still.
I was saying his package was expanded. All right.
Yeah. But I don't know. Like at this point, I think you stick with Siemian because he's been playing well. So I think Siemian's playing about as well as you can expect. Like he's a backup quarterback. He hasn't been turning the ball over. He's taken some sacks. Yeah, he's missed some guys. But
like, what do you want? Like he's a backup quarterback.
I think Siemian. So you're saying you're tired of this argument because you have people arguing with you that Siemian is bad. Is bad.
Yeah, I feel like people are just like over analyzing his performance, and I'm like, didn't throw a pick, didn't turn it over. Like, what more can you ask for?
I have to be
for
honest.
298 yards with those receivers. Like
I have to be honest
as good
with
as
you.
it's gonna get with a backup quarterback.
Siemian may be better than Jameis Winston. I mean, I am not kidding. I mean, all right, yeah. You want to argue with me? I don't know where you argue with me on this.
Well,
Siemian
Winston
gets
is more
the ball out
mobile.
quicker.
Winston is more mobile.
Winston made a lot more plays with his legs.
Okay.
But Siemian gives his receivers a chance, even though his receivers are terrible. They can't make plays.
I think from
gives them a chance.
I mean, basically what you're saying is Jameis is a better quarterback because he's not that as good as quarterbacking as he is as running. Basically, you're saying Jameis isn't that great of a quarterback. He's just better. He's more
I mean, it's clear which one of those two has a bit more arm talent, and it's not Siemian.
I don't know if that's true. Andrew, I'm
sorry.
sorry.
That's 100%. That's that. Jameis can make.
I think you guys are conflating arm talent and arm strength. And there's a difference, okay?
Well, accuracy.
We are in the post.
Is Siemian more accurate?
Yes, I think they are equally as accurate. Are you kidding me?
This is some take. This is some take.
This is hot.
This is some
take. Is this hot? I'm sorry, I didn't think this is hot because I thought this was very obvious to the naked, intelligent eye.
Thomas, check the timestamp. We know now that Dave is not the burner for Jameis 1 of 1. With
Tomas, check the timestamp on this.
Jameis slander coming
passes,
from Dave.
What passes? Look, first of all, in the post-Drew Brees era, like I'm impressed with anybody who throws it semi-far. Like already, I'm like, oh, well, that's great, and somewhat accurately. So from that standpoint, both Jameis and Trevor Siemian are both. They're very good. They're very good. You guys are very good. You threw it 30 yards on target. Oh, that's great. Very good. I'm impressed. But
I feel like Dave is setting.
Dave, you're like
setting
me
up
when I watch
Siemian.
people juggle. I'm like,
Ralph,
wow, they can juggle. They have both hands.
Dave is setting Siemian up for a 4-pick game, and he's gonna be like, "God, that dude's terrible. Jameis is way better." Like now it's coming. You've done this to him.
You did this thing. This is your fault, Dave.
You did this.
Mark it down, Thomas.
If your defense Jameis Winston is that he can scramble and using his legs more, my defense would be Trevor Siemian doesn't need to do that because he can just fucking get rid of the ball in 3 seconds to the check down receiver and let that guy make the goddamn play. This is ridiculous.
Did you watch the 2-minute drill?
What, with Siemian?
Yes.
What, with the sacks?
Yes.
Look, you don't think Jameis takes those sacks too? Are you crazy? You think Jameis gets rid of the ball that quickly? You're out of your cotton picking mind. You are crazy. It's been 3 weeks since Jameis has played, and you've already forgotten how freaking terrible he was in certain instances. Look, I like Jameis. I had no problem with Jameis. He was doing a good job. He was a game manager, but he wasn't perfect, and he made the same mistakes that Trevor Siemian is making. Sometimes they took stupid sacks. But like Jameis made dumber. I'm sorry, but like, I think we're better off. I think we are better off with Siemian. I'm sorry.
Wow.
I'm sorry. I think we are.
That is wow.
It's close. It's closer than you think, Jude.
It's closer than you think. Yeah.
But
I'll give you that.
we got to get to the defense because the defense.
I'm tired.
It was good, but we've been saying this defense is like elite and great. It was just pretty good. They gave up a crap ton of big plays, Andrew. 4 pass plays of more than 16 yards. But
Joey
here's the
says Jameis throws it away. That is the biggest load of horseshit I have ever seen in my life. That is the biggest load of. You wish Jameis in your fantasy imagination, Jameis throws it away. But I don't know if that happens. I don't know if that happens in real life.
What's in that eggnog?
I don't know.
I mean,
cocaine, maybe.
Yeah. Biloxi Blue. I'm hearing you on this.
It's Kirkland eggnog,
Right,
and then I added a little. And then I added
Kirkland Costco quality.
Yeah, and then I added a little.
Why is that quality so terrible? It does not sound like that on my phone.
So we're watching some highlights here of Lattimore looking terrible. You know what Lattimore's like? He's like, that guy in high school that gets terrible grades. He gets like C minuses, he gets D's, and you think he's an idiot. And he just gets terrible grades all the time, and you think he's kind of dumb. And then he gets a 1600 on his SAT. And you're like, what? What? Where did that come from? We all have a friend like that, right? That just like aced the SAT, and you didn't see that coming from a mile away. That's Lattimore. I feel
here's
like
the thing.
He's awesome when you expect him to maybe not be as good because he has a challenge. And then when you're like, okay, like, this is English 101. Like, he should get an A in this. He's a pretty smart kid, and he gets like a C+.
Diagram this sentence, and he can't do it.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Gun handling 401. He gets an F.
On Saints Happy Hour Twitter, we ask important football analytics questions because we are the #1 authority for watching Saints tape, breaking it down. We asked an important question on Saints Twitter today. Dave, should Marshawn Lattimore, should he put the cast back on so he can play like he did in October?
Yes,
should he go cast both hands? Should he go full body?
That's what I was thinking. Should we go all appendages? Should we go both hands, both feet? Or maybe just full body?
Hopefully his mom is like my mom and has kept that cast. My mom still has the cast I had from 7th grade. I know this because my parents have recently sold my childhood home. I had to go through all my old stuff, so my mom had my old 7th grade cast. So hopefully Lattimore's mom also kept his cast, so maybe we can reapply that cast. Because you're right.
Well,
no, he was definitely better in the what we'll call him BC, the BC days, the before cast days.
Well,
I should have known the second Julio Jones went on IR that Lattimore was going to be terrible. I mean, that was like, how did we not read the tea leaves there? Like, oh, Julio Jones is out. He's going to be awful. The Saints were literally better off with Julio Jones playing. Lattimore would have been out of his mind.
90% of people in our poll said that Lattimore needs to cast one or both hands. So, I mean, I'm
needs to cast on his dick in case he shoots it off.
It's the strangest thing. It's like degree of difficulty has to be turned. It's like it's like he plays Madden on rookie level and he loses, and then he plays it on all Madden and he wins.
It's amazing.
Like, what's going on with Lattimore?
Well, Dave, do we have to start calling Marcus Davenport? And we used to call him Marcus 2 first. Do we have to start calling him Marcus Davenport now? Because he's been ridiculous.
How about Marcus 2 sacks?
Yeah, Marcus 2 sacks. I knew I should have taken that picture of him and Payton Turner on the sidelines last week because I knew that was going to be the last time the two of them were going to be playing in a game together. I knew it. I called it. Now Payton Turner is on IR.
Look,
those two will never play in a game together ever in the history of football ever again. I should have taken that damn picture. Those two will never play together, be healthy, and play together in the same game of football.
Look at this, dude. He just uses the offensive tackle of Tennessee to sack the quarterback.
Well, that one play was after Taylor Lewan got injured, and they had the backup in there.
The second play. Look, this is Lewan right here.
Yeah, then he beats it. Yeah, that's sick. That is totally sick. But the first one was a backup guy. But not to take anything away from Davenport, because when you have an opportunity like that, on one play like that, you got to take advantage of it, and he did.
That's right.
I mean,
his sacks all count the same.
Yeah.
Man.
No, enjoy it now because that's the last you'll see of Jeremy.
If they could ever,
that's it. I told you all to save this. I told you don't play him. Don't play him until we just wasted him. We wasted him in this Titans game that we weren't going to win anyway. We could have saved him for the playoffs as the 7th seed. We could have saved him for the wild card game. Maybe he could have had 2 sacks in the wild card game. We could have pulled something out of our ass then. But now, forget it now.
Do you think he stays healthy until Payton Turner comes back and then he gets injured?
No.
Hold on. Or does his injury happen before Payton Turner returns? Or are we going to have games where both of them are out?
No, you can't have. They can't have both of them at the same. Dave has explained that it's science. You can't have both of them on the field at the same time.
No, I'm saying, is there a possibility we'll be without both of them at the same time?
Could be.
By the time the playoffs roll around, you won't have either of them.
Do we have one? Does Davenport have another great game in him, though, Dave? We know he's going to get injured eventually.
I say he's got like a half a game. He'll get injured in the next game. So however long he plays in the next game before he gets injured is that's how much he's got left.
Andrew,
oh my gosh,
the run defense.
Patrick Robinson come out of retirement and kick for the Saints?
Why not?
Sorry, continue.
The run defense, Andrew, is as good as it's ever been. And explain to people why the run defense is allowing them to stay in these games even though they're falling behind by 2 scores.
Well, it's pretty simple. When you're up by a couple scores, you want to try to run out the clock. And, if you throw, teams are just going to get more conservative because when you're throwing, there's the risk of obviously turning it over. You get sacked or you throw a pick. But also, if you throw an incomplete pass, it stops the clock. And so teams always run the ball. And we've seen this the last 2 weeks now against both Atlanta and, in this past game against Tennessee, where teams try to run the ball and they just can't. And so they'll run it on first down and then it's 2nd and 8 and then they run it again and it's 3rd and 7 and then they have to throw. And when it's 3rd and 7, that's a hard first down to pick up. And so that's what we saw against Tennessee and Atlanta. Both, they were going 3 and out. The offense kept getting the ball back. And so, when you're down 2 scores, the offense is a little bit more predictable. And so when the Saints know the run's coming, no one's running on them right now. Yeah, it's remarkable how good the run defense is.
The run defense, again, when they were down 23-15 was ridiculous, Dave. Quan Alexander was wrecking things all over the place.
Quan looked good yesterday.
He looked amazing.
Yeah, I thought that was his best game as a Saint.
Yeah, he looked great.
But the defense, on the Dave Cariello panic meter. How panicked are you about the secondary? This is 2 weeks in a row where they've given up a bunch of plays.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not that panicked. I'm panicked overall about the team in general, but the secondary.
I don't think we'd be that worried about the secondary if we could hit an extra point.
Right. Yeah. No, exactly. That is such a good point. But also, the secondary. We talked about this before. The secondary has been kind of has gone hand in hand with the overall performance of the team, in so much as like the secondary has had yo-yo performances. 1 week they look great, 1 week they don't look great. Like Andrew was saying, Marshawn Lattimore. Like if Julio Jones is playing, Marshawn Lattimore probably looks amazing, just because like our secondary tends to play.
Philadelphia have any good receivers? I can't name one of them.
It's just weird. The secondary, and I think the Saints in general, they kind of tend to play up to their opponents and play down to their opponents. And
Devonta Smith, he won the Heisman. Marshawn Lattimore.
Devontae.
So
guys,
I'm not worried about the secondary.
The Saints are giving up 3.1 yards per carry. That's number 1 in the NFL. Number 2 is 3.7. So it's more than a half a yard better than the second best team. Over the last 3 games since Onyemata's been back, it's 2.5 per carry.
Oh my God.
So yeah, the Saints aren't getting run on now. They didn't face Derrick Henry, obviously, and that would have changed things. But this week coming up is going to be really interesting, because Philadelphia ran for 217 yards this past week. They ran all over the Saints last year. Jalen Hurts was very difficult for this defense to contain and stop. So this will be a big test, and I'm really interested and really looking forward to seeing how they handle it.
Well, we'll get to the game pick in just a little bit. The hotline this week. Here's the thing. You can become a patron and you can get the unedited version of the hotline.
Crazy.
We're going to have to run a disclaimer. People, the hatred of Adam Troutman is uncomfortable. It's funny, but it's uncomfortable. But you should become a patron. You can listen to the unedited hotline. It's amazing. This hotline this week is really good. One of the things we ran, we got this soundbite from a caller to the hotline.
Just trying to fuck everything up.
I mean, so call the hotline and you might become a soundbite that lives on for the podcast forever. So Thomas, hit the people with the hotline. It's time for this week's hottest takes from the Saints Happy Hour Hotline.
I'm done with this f***ing game. That was such a bullshit call. It's going to end up costing us the game. The NFL's so f***ing stupid anymore. It's like, why even watch? As soon as you got that pick, see, flag on the f***ing 3rd and goal with a pass interference probably. Now they'll get another f***ing 4 downs. These pieces of shit right there. Stupid assholes. Yeah, at least those 2 missed extra points aren't going to haunt us here. Moving down with the field with 3 minutes left in the game, down 8 fucking points. All you had to do is hit 1 of the 2 and we'd be cool. That piece of f***.
Of course, it's Troutman hater here. Yeah, my boy just coming up in the clutch yet again. So does he get on the plane back to New Orleans, or do we leave him in Tennessee? Him and Johnson, they could be roommates. I don't know. I hear they've got an okay market up there. They could find something to do. It ain't catching shit or kicking shit, so that. Sean Payton said it all. God damn it, Troutman. That's a direct quote. Troutman.
Fucking Troutman. Get him off of my fucking team. This dude has literally cost us 2 games with his drops and his inability to do basic football stuff. Get him off of the team. I don't really care about Brian. The win is crazy. Whatever. That happens. But do not let Troutman touch another fucking ball for this team. I am done with him. Give me Juwan Johnson. I don't care. Just get rid of Troutman. Don't play him for the rest of the year. Make his ass inactive. This is fucking ridiculous.
You know, guys, when we all thought we were going to be in the abyss after Drew Brees. I think we all thought that the Saints were just going to absolutely suck, fall apart, not be competitive. But you know what the abyss really is? It's 5-4 after losing 2 games by less than 1 score, one of which you were up with less than a minute to go. That's the real abyss. Inconsistency, good enough to tease you into thinking they can win every game, bad enough to not win enough games, and not bad enough to tank and draft a quarterback high. That's the abyss, fellas. This is what we are right now. We're a 5-4 football team. And it's not real fun.
Don't give up
I think
hope.
it's super fun.
Dude, it's the Rams, the almighty all-in Rams are getting their head kicked in for the second week in a row. You want
I'm
in
surprised.
the NFC
I thought
playoffs.
for sure Odell Beckham and Von Miller would fix everything.
And Von Miller was Odell Beckham is trash. I never wanted him.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Go Tigers.
I never wanted that guy. You can play the tape. I never wanted him. It's fact.
We even hate LSU now because of Beckham.
You say that, but he probably is going to cause all kind of drama in the locker room, and you're going to be like, "Oh God, thank God we dodged that bullet."
Like Ralph always says, it's the moves that Mickey Loomis tries to make but fails.
That are the best.
Yeah.
Mickey Loomis, man. Whenever he tries to do something desperately and he can't, you know that we're gonna be like, thank God they didn't do that. Yeah. Thomas, it's trivia time, and remind us, Thomas, people were complaining last week. We didn't say the trivia answer. We just let people in the live stream read it, and people were like, hey, we listened to this podcast audio only. Say the goddamn answer, you cripple. So,
I mean,
Thomas.
Dave said it, but I was talking at the same time, so it wasn't,
Oh, well, then stop talking over me, Thomas.
Sorry, Don Cariello. So the answer to last week's trivia was Howard Stevens was the shortest player to ever play for the Saints. He was 5'5", a running back who played for 1973 to 1974. So let's go to this week's trivia, as always, sponsored by Budrich, and this week we also have a pretty tricky question. 2 weeks in a row. And the question is, who has the longest punt in Saints history?
I remember Mark Royals banged one for over 80.
Dude,
so that's my initial guess is Mark Royals like an 84-yard punt or something.
I have I'll disagree with
that. That doesn't
Andrew.
look like Thomas Morstead, I can tell you that.
No. I have no idea. Mark Royals is a good punter for the Saints.
I'm going to go with Andrew right now.
Yeah.
Right?
I remember Mark Royals hitting a huge one.
Yeah.
When I was a kid.
So, Thomas, give us the answer.
Oh, already? You already give up?
Yeah,
yes.
I give up.
Well, just pick someone else. When you want to pick Brian Hansen, just I'm
going to pick Toby Goen.
Brian Hansen, is that the guy who does the
Toby
pedophile
Goen.
stuff for
I'm going to pick Toby
Dateline
Goen.
NBC? Like, I'm Brian Hansen.
No, but Brian Hansen does sing "Take It to the Top" with Morton Anderson.
That's
He's
right.
his duo.
I think Brian Hansen is the guy who says, so have a seat. Why are you here?
I'm going to give you a hint. The silhouette is a setup.
Oh. Just reveal the damn answer.
As you wish.
Smart man. Mitch Berger, maybe?
Oh, that's a good.
Tom McNeil. 1969?
Oh, man.
Who's that? Who is number not?
That is the only photo I could find of him. The only. Just one.
Dude, he looks.
Wow.
He looks like the
Tom
coach
McNeil.
of Mississippi.
Why are we looking at him now currently as an old guy? He looks
like Mike Leach,
punt.
the coach of Mississippi State.
He looks 81 years old.
He does.
Now.
He's a punting specialist. University.
Tom McNeil. Wow.
So
Never
Yeah,
heard of him.
it was 81 yards in 1969. By the way.
Wow.
It's unbelievable.
69.
Nice.
He also handled kickoffs.
All right, so
That's a good
69. So
question.
he's got to be. So he's got to be at least. So he's got to be at least 21, then 48. So 58, 68, 78, 80. So he's got to be at least 80 years old.
Yeah. He looks.
Is he alive? Is he still alive?
We can have him on the podcast. He lives in Houston.
Is he still alive?
Yeah.
That's a good
you
question.
know this already? So you know where he lives and that he's still alive.
Tom
I'm
McNeil.
reading the view card. I'm reading his football card on the screen.
If you gave us a choice between Adam Troutman,
But you don't know what year
Tom
that
McNeil-
football. Andrew, hold on. You don't know what year when this football card on the screen was written.
Well, he says now calls Houston home.
I know that, but you don't know if that could have been written 5 years ago. He could be dead by now.
He could be.
Jesus.
You get Kathy Ireland's age right now. You're some sort of expert. It's bullshit, is what it is.
That's right. That's right. I am the expert at nailing how old you are just by looking at you. Thomas, where did that bio come from?
I wanted to show the chat. I'm bringing it back.
Oh yeah, is that a? By the way, Ralph, that's right. I'm stealing this from somebody. I'm stealing it from
Tom
somebody.
McNeely's on the wall.
Yeah, is that a Tom McNeely fat head on the wall?
Tom McNeil. It's a fat head. We got it. That's
You
why
could
you need to
have-
support
if
the
you
show.
could have Tom McNeil or Adam Troutman on the show, which one would you pick?
Tom McNeil, my God.
What would Adam Troutman?
I would have Adam Troutman because I would grill his ass. I'd be like,
What would Adam
were you
Troutman
thinking
have
when
to
you
do to
dropped
get a
that
fat
pass?
head on the wall? What would he have to do to be a fat head on the wall next week?
I don't know. Catch 2 touchdowns. He would have to catch 2 touchdowns for me to even consider him.
All right, Tom.
Mark Royals was actually just eighth longest. So Tom McNeil is the longest with 81. The next best is 3 different punters, all before I was born, hit 71. So he's got first place by 10 yards.
Wow.
Crazy. Also, according to Wikipedia, he's still alive. He's 79 years old.
Wow. Morstead did blast a 70-yarder.
I don't remember that at all.
Yep.
Thomas, hit the music. We got to get to question. Finger gun. So I wonder.
For you new listeners, that's a Morton Anderson original. True story.
Morton Anderson, Brian Hansen singing "Take It to the Top." The 80s were wild. Go to YouTube. They're wearing really, really short white shorts, and they may or may not be doing a lot of.
They're dressed like, remember in Goodfellas when he goes when he sees his girlfriend's boyfriend at the tennis club.
That's right.
They're dressed like that.
Right.
And he beats the shit out of him. He's dressed like that.
That's right. So we got a new soundbite for the. We updated the soundbite for the question segment. So Thomas.
Next question.
A little more up to date.
Okay, first question from Badridge.
A little more anger. I'm detecting a little more anger in there.
That's right.
Too.
He's back. Badridge asks, which tight end would you choose to bring back to play for the Saints? And it can be only one of these 3. Boo Williams,
Yes,
Billy Miller,
already.
or Ernie Conwell.
Boo Williams had
Boo Williams
horrific drops.
No,
Yes, he did.
Yeah, you're right.
Yes,
you're
he
right,
did.
you're right.
I would go Billy Miller. I'd run it
Yeah,
back with
I
Billy
think you're
Miller.
right.
I like
Yeah.
Billy Miller.
Yeah, that old freckle face.
Yeah.
I
He was a good teammate. He was a good Saint, Billy Miller.
He was number 83. If I didn't have those choices, though, I would have said Shockey. I would love to have Shockey on this team.
The
I
Shock
would love to
Man.
have Shockey.
The Shock Man in this locker room would be fun. All right, Thomas.
No, actually, he wouldn't. He'd be really pissed off that he didn't have a quarterback who can get him the goddamn ball, and he'd probably blow up the whole locker room.
No, you said Siemian was better than Jameis, so Siemian can get him.
They're better. He's better than
Shockey
better than
all-time-
Davis, but none of them are good. All right, hold on, my wife.
Shockey has my favorite line of all time when he's in the locker room and a reporter says, he's been dealing with a foot and an ankle and leg issue all year. And the reporter goes, hey, he's limping in the locker room, and the reporter goes, hey, Shockey, are you playing this week? He goes, I'm walking, aren't I? He says like he could barely walk, and he's like,
I'm playing.
yeah, I'm playing.
Yeah. All right, Thomas.
Next question.
Next question from Saints to Death. Saints to Death is on fire with these questions lately, by the way. He's like on a 4-week 3-question streak or something like that. So Saints to Death asks, should we call that voodoo lady that jujued the Superdome in 2000? Whatever she did to help us, obviously one off.
Well, here's the thing: the Saints have the voodoo lady cured the spirits in 2000, and they won the playoff game. The Pope blessed the stadium in 1987, the summer of 1987, and then the Saints had their first winning season. I think they need something different. I don't think you can bring back the voodoo lady, or you can't go back to the Pope, obviously, because he's not coming to visit. You need something new.
Don't forget the Michelle Sproles jinx.
Oh yeah,
the Compton curse.
You need maybe like a giant candle or something. Like you need something new, but they do need to exercise some stuff because they have massive injuries.
I don't know. I think they need to sacrifice like a Argentinian goat at the altar or something.
They can sacrifice Troutman.
God. I gotta say, as much as like I'm on board with the Troutman hate because he really has been terrible. Like I kind of will get some personal satisfaction if he scores like 2 touchdowns this week and finds a way to turn it around. It's not happening, but I feel bad for him.
Nick Van Ed's gonna drop 4 passes.
Troutman,
well, maybe Troutman go back to
Troutman doesn't anger me like Browner. Browner was so defiant and such a jerk.
Yeah.
Troutman just feels like a lost puppy. Lost sheepdog.
I also don't think Troutman's going to go out and commit federal crimes after he's cut by the Saints.
Right.
I think Saints fans might commit federal crimes on him.
That's right. All right.
Next question.
Okay, next question from CK2499, and he asks, speaking of Troutman, he asks, Troutman, Bourne, and Kevin White, who do you keep? Who do you straight up release? And who do you give to the Falcons to hurt them?
Well, I'm giving them Troutman.
The last
one
is easy, I think.
This is a football version of FMK, I feel like.
Yeah.
I'm giving the Falcons Troutman, and I'm just waiting for the moment where the Falcons need to score a touchdown in the end zone on the final drive, and Troutman drops it.
See, this is the fun part about the hype machine. Troutman had the offseason hype. Zach Bond had the training camp, beginning of the season hype. But Bond, he's just terrible. He just disappeared.
I don't understand this preseason hype that you're talking about Troutman. Like it
was off-season hype.
Off-season, preseason, whatever. And maybe I'm in the minority, but I don't remember being excited for Troutman. I remember thinking, the whole Troutman thing really has gone the way I would expect it.
Desperation.
I don't know.
Desperation,
Dave. What did you see? What did you see? He was going to catch 50 balls.
I saw my hopes and dreams, Dave. I saw my hopes and dreams, and I put him into Troutman, and he disappointed me. That's what I saw.
Well, you're an idiot, and I question all those other fans that were like expecting big things from Troutman. I don't know why. What have you seen?
He had that great catch against Tampa in the 38-3 win.
He had a great catch. Oh, he had a good catch.
All right, so what's the question again? We gotta
keep one, cut one, and send one to the Falcons.
And who are the players? Bond, Troutman, and who?
I'm keeping Kevin White.
Oh, Kevin
I'm
White.
cutting
Yeah, he's
Bond,
good on
I'm
special
sending
teams.
Troutman to the Vikings.
Yeah, I'll keep Kevin White also. He's good on special teams.
And Kevin White, he's like Kevin White. Every time he catches a pass, it's like Mardi Gras. So I'm for it. So All right.
Ridiculous.
Kevin White is like the bad version of Joe Morgan, and Joe Morgan wasn't good.
I think we're keeping Kevin White because we need a wide receiver. We don't need Zach Bond. We're good at linebacker. Well, we need a tight end, but we know Troutman's not it. So it's like
we're giving Troutman to the Falcons. It's decided.
Right. So we might as well keep.
It's
Kevin
just
White.
better this way. If we're gonna hate him like this, he just needs to be on the Falcons. It's just,
right.
it's meant to be.
That's right.
Next question.
Okay, next question again from Saints to Death, and he asks, that's an interesting question. How many more bad audio podcasts can Nick Underhill have before he steps on the Saints Happy Hour brand and starts the feud we've secretly always wanted?
Yeah, I listened to that podcast. He was in the airport, and ladies were coming on loudspeakers talking about gates and boarding flights, and I was offended. I was offended because that's our brand.
That's it. That's right.
He was encroaching on our territory.
Yeah, Nick. If
he look, I'm gonna sue him, for just like trademark infringement here. And if he wants bad audio, he's got to run that by us. This is like borrowing a song from an artist. You can't just like. You can't just like cover a song by another artist. And
we invented distracting background noises during podcasts. You can't freaking take that
in
from
line,
us.
Nick Underhill.
Yeah, Nick, I'm not breaking down. I'm not breaking news and breaking down every Trevor Siemian pass.
Yeah, that's right. And you know what, Underhill? If you think you're going to go on some long rant and then break up in the middle of it so that the audience doesn't even hear half of it, you got another thing coming, Underhill. You got another thing coming because that's our territory.
Yeah, that's right.
Next question.
If Nick Underhill films himself going to the bathroom, I swear
to God, it's on.
It's coming, you know that.
Dave is trying to run his mouth, and he's muted the whole time. No, like we didn't hear anything you said, and we still can't hear you, Dave. I don't even have a joke.
I was just gonna say, now the whole thing's ruined. But I was all amped up. I was saying I would cut Underhill if I see him anywhere near a toilet.
Hey, Tomas, check the timestamp on this.
You better watch out, Underhill. Stay away from the freaking bathroom. It's my territory. You hear me? You hear me, Underhill?
Dave sounds like the guy in the Jimmy John's commercials.
You hear me, Underhill? You just
what would make you more angry?
You're just talking to your nice fancy Yeti, Underhill, and keep your sound quality in check, okay?
What if
I better not hear you break up? I better not hear any static. I better not hear any of that.
What would make you more upset? Underhill eating like candy like nerds on a show, or would it make you more angry if he was eating cured meats? Like pastrami or
honestly,
prosciutto.
What really if he started mispronouncing Saints players' names, I will go off the freaking handle.
If he started eating prosciutto on the toilet, is that an act of war?
I'll freaking kill him. I'll slice him up. I'll freaking slice him up.
Wait, are you talking about Underhill?
Yeah, I'm talking about Underhill.
Or Troutman.
No, I'm talking about the prosciutto. I'm going to slice up the prosciutto, and I'm going to shove it down Underhill's freaking throat if he even eats any kind of dried, cured Italian meat on the next podcast.
Jesus.
I love Angry Dave is the best.
Well,
I don't care.
Solve your problems with aggression.
I like the one. It's the meth nog. I'm on meth nog.
The meth nog.
Somebody said that earlier on Twitch. I was like, "Yeah, that's hilarious." Meth nog. I'm on.
That's a good name.
Nog.
That's a good name for a rapper.
Walter Cariello.
Or
I got that blue. I got that blue eggnog.
A death metal Christmas
drink
album.
Some water, buddy.
A death metal Christmas album. Meth nog be the name of the album. All right.
Next question.
Please, next question.
Okay, last but not least from Biloxi Blues, and Biloxi Blues asks, if you could have one player back this season out of these three on IR, who would it be? Lutz, Jameis, or Tomas?
Oh man.
I think
I
it's
know
Lutz, because if they have Lutz, I think they're 7-2.
I think they're referring to Thomas Morstead, but I'm gonna just pretend they're talking about Tomas, our producer.
Of course.
No,
you don't think it might be Michael Thomas? You don't think?
No, I would take
kicking.
Honestly, I'd take Lutz. Wait. 3 hour. Who would it be? We can
feel
have
like
them
you
from now on, or we could have had them from the beginning.
Could have had him the whole time.
Oh,
You
Lutz.
got to go with your quarterback, right?
No, you do not.
I think you go
because-
Lutz.
Yeah,
I think
Lutz.
You go Lutz.
We could have won.
And you're
we could have
7
won
You
all
would
those.
rather Will Lutz over Michael Thomas?
Yeah, I think.
Is that
I think
even
I just.
serious?
I think if you have Will Lutz, I'm 7-2, and I just
Exactly.
roll
No,
with
Will-
it.
Have you seen our receivers?
Yes. No, yes, you're right, Andrew. You're right, but like
Have
having
you
Will
seen
Lutz,
our receivers?
I know that, but Andrew, if you replace Will
Have
Lutz
you
with
seen our
pass,
kickers?
Andrew, yes,
You
that's
know what the
one.
Saints need to do? This is what I want them to do. I want them to carry 5 kickers. One guy for kickoffs, one guy for extra points, one guy for field goals, and like if you miss, you're out. If you miss an extra point, you're done. Next guy. Like and like that way, like you don't have to stick with the guy all week. You know, if he's terrible, like you just keep rotating and shuffling. And that's what the Saints.
Do you give them? Do you give like? Is it kindergarten, Andrew? Like if they make the kick, you give them a sticker. If they miss,
you get
you
the
give them an
lollipop.
X.
Yep, that's right. You give him the little lollipop. Good job. Well done, son. You know, you reward good behavior. That's right.
Yeah, you need.
No, you gotta go with Lutz here. You automatically change the outcome of like 2 games immediately if you
True.
have just somebody who can kick extra points and field goals. We win the Titans game if we have somebody who can kick a field goal. And like I forgot to even mention
Michael Thomas. I'm
Yeah.
going Michael Thomas.
Well, look, and I forgot to mention, you had just mentioned it. My God, yeah, Brian Johnson on the kickoffs. Jesus, he's like kicking it to the 20-yard line. Like, what the hell is that?
The Titans were so shocked
windy
it bounced.
Holy Jesus! Like, I haven't seen. I don't think I can ever recall seeing a kick that short since they moved it back in the NFL. Like, what the hell? What in the hell? Who is this Brian Johnson guy? Remember 3 weeks ago when we were like all like freaking out about Brian Johnson because we thought he was the greatest thing since sliced bread? How the mighty have fallen.
Still perfect on field goals though.
I'm not sure. I'm not even sure I'm joking here. Should we give Thomas Morstead a call to kick field goals for us?
No, and you know what? I'm not even joking. Like you said, the multiple kickers. Fucking bring Morstead in and do kickoffs because my God, that Brian that 80-yard shit for Brian John, that's not going to work. Like bring Morstead in exclusively for kickoffs. I'm not kidding.
Yeah,
that would be fun. With 2021, it's the reunion year for the Saints. Just bringing everybody. They're bringing all our favorites back.
Get the freaking band back together. Let's just have some fun this year. We're gonna win shit. Let's have some fun.
All right, it's time for game predictions. Thomas, put the graphic up. I promise not to. I promise not to double dip and pick one on the podcast and one on the radio.
Can we get a score update? What's the score update? Because some of us scored points because we picked Tennessee. No,
you did.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, I picked Tennessee.
Man,
and I picked Lattimore as the turd of the week. Did you give me points for that?
I don't know if he qualified.
Was he the turd of the week though?
No.
Yes, he does.
He was not. He wasn't.
He was not good.
He
was awful.
But he wasn't the worst.
Marcus Johnson had 100 yards receiving, Dave.
I know, but turd of the week.
You wouldn't pick Marcus Johnson out of a lineup if he was wearing a Marcus Johnson jersey.
Turd.
Hey, Kevin has his first point, by the way.
Oh, wow.
Oh. You haven't noticed that.
Welcome to the game, Kevin. Good for you, Kevin.
All right. My turn.
Kevin Siciliano.
Go ahead, Andrew. What you got? So it's, by the way, the line is a pick'em. The rare.
Really?
Vegas doesn't have any idea, so it's a pick'em.
Right. Great.
I'm going with the Saints. I think they're going to bounce back. They've been very good the last few years about bouncing back from losses, and this is 2 in a row, 2 heartbreakers. So I think this is do or die for the Saints, and I think they know it. I think they know they have to win this game because Buffalo and Cowboys coming up after this. So if you drop to 5-5, and then you got 2 tough games after that, you could be staring 5-7. So in the face. So I'm going with Saints here. I think they're going to play. I think they're going to play tough run defense, and I think they pull it off. 24-20 Saints. And my star of the game is Taysom Hill.
Ooh, I like that. Dave.
Interessante.
Who you got?
Andrew, if my memory serves me correct, I think we are close on the score there.
Yeah, 5 points each. Oh! I almost forgot. I'm locking that in.
Andrew's locking it in.
Lock it in. Lock it in, Thomas.
It in. Where's the Law and Order soundtrack? Noise. There it is. Oh, all right. Locked it in. So for sure that means
I don't get a graphic with the lock it in there, Thomas.
Yeah, we need some. Yeah, a little Oh no, he's got the lock.
I need more police.
There's a lock in the bottom left corner there. Yeah.
There it is.
He needs more. He needs better. He needs better software.
Yeah, I think for this season, I think the plan is to go, to pick the Saints when you think they're going to lose, and pick the other team when you think the Saints are going to win. I have no idea who the hell is going to show up this week. You never know. The Eagles, I have no idea what to expect. I'm thinking about last year. Jalen Hurts comes in and just totally dominates the Saints. So, who the hell knows what's going to happen? Since the Saints have lost now 2 in a row, I can't see them losing 3 in a row. I'm going to say I'm picking Saints on this one. Payton's a good coach. So I'm picking Saints. I said Saints 24 also, but I said Eagles 21. I think this is going to come down to a field goal or something like that. And so I picked...
well, if it comes down to a field goal, hopefully it's not the Saints kicking it.
No, yeah, hopefully it's going to be the Eagles trying to tie it at the end, and then they miss it. And I'm going with my... I don't know what's going on with the... Kamara yet. It's only Monday. We have to make these picks on Monday, but I'm going with my boyfriend again, the all-time Saints leading rusher, Mark Ingram. Gonna have another day. I'm not locking that in though.
Thomas, I don't remember the score, but I never do. I know I never do.
Ralph can't.
But I know I picked the Eagle. Listen, the Saints. I do not trust them to do all the little things you need to do to win a close game. They
have no idea what they're gonna
do. They Sean Payton says we got to clean stuff up, but we're going on 3 weeks of that. I just don't trust them to kick a field goal. I don't trust them to not give up sacks. I don't trust them to not do stupid penalties. And this game, they're in these close games with these mediocre teams, because the Saints are kind of a mediocre team. I just don't trust them anymore. And until I see them actually win a close game, I'm not picking them. I got the Eagles. Thomas, I don't remember the score. Put it up there. And my go to the game, I think Trevor Siemian's due for a bad game, so he's my turd of the week.
You like the number 24, guys. I see.
24-17 Eagles.
I will say it did dawn on me that the Saints losing to Philly, beating Buffalo and Dallas, and then losing to the Jets would be so Saintsy. That's totally what's happening, right?
That would break the fucking Saintsy meter.
Those are going to be my picks for the next few weeks.
Oh my God.
I mean, they're beating. Yeah, they're bizarro. They're going to trash Josh Allen and embarrass him.
That was right.
On Thanksgiving, and then they're going to destroy Dak, and we're going to be riding high, we just beat the Bills, we just beat the Cowboys, now we get a cupcake against the Jets.
They're going to get lit up
by
Mike
lose by 3
White.
touchdowns.
Yeah.
No, you can actually, Thomas, you can lock those in right now for me right now. All 3 of those. I'm taking all 3 of those picks.
Who did Kevin pick, Thomas?
What did Kevin pick?
What do you think? Who do you think he picked?
He picked the Eagles. Turd of the game, Brian Johnson.
Eagles.
Brian Johnson, you say? You are wrong on that, man.
Yeah, man. Oh, you're wrong on that, man.
Hey, Traquan, I think he's going to...
Oh, he said Trevor Siemian like Ralph did. Oh, him and Ralph they are symbiotic.
And by the way, because Andrew is the only one who locked the game up this week, because of that, he gets 3 times multiplier if he gets anything right instead of 2 times.
Wow.
So if the Saints win, he gets 3 points instead of 1.
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
What does he get if he misses, though?
Well, he gets -1 point.
Oh.
He has to go to dinner. He has to go to dinner with Adam Troutman.
Oh God! Can I take
And
it back?
eat fish.
No. Sorry, that's locked
And
in.
You have to wear a Troutman jersey for a month.
Enjoy that.
Eat speckled trout.
So, by the way, I just want to tell everybody before we get out of here, support the show. We are doing it. This show is amazing. Nobody else is doing this show where we're doing graphics and all the fun stuff Thomas has got for us, the jokes. We're the best. Support the freaking show. We had signups this week. We're setting records in October. My wife. We'll get you a booze bundle. We sent about 6 of them out this week. So do it. Support the show. We need your help. Do it. Subscribe on Twitch or become a patron. Either way, it's a way to support the show. It allows us to keep the fun going. And you get in Discord. It's amazing.
I like
Thomas.
I like that Nick Vanette, Fathead Ralph.
Yeah, it's good. I got Nick Vanette. I got Troutman. I got Griffin. I got the turd tight end trio.
Well, throw the Troutman in the trash.
Is Juwan Johnson behind the flag?
Throw the Troutman one in the trash next to little Jordan Humphrey because they're both. That's the end of them. That's the end
All right, Thomas, give us the clip of the week.
Okay, so the clip of the week clipped by Budrich, and you can see Dave is pretty dapper tonight. And last week, I don't know if you remember correctly what he wore. So let's check it out.
Guy in little
Just Thomas, hit the music.
The questions.
I didn't realize I was dancing like a champ.
He was doing.
In
a
the
molly.
hoodie.
He looked like you did a molly.
The hoodie?
That hoodie, that hoodie's super. That's a task hoodie.
This week, Dave
I
is
almost wore it
Walter
again
White.
tonight.
This week you are Walter White. Last week you were Jesse Pinkman.
I'm giving you clues.
Next week you will be back to being Mike.
Next week I'm going to own a fast food chicken chain.
Oh,
Hermanos. Is it Los Hermanos?
Yeah.
Los Pollos Hermanos.
Los Pollos
Los Pollos Hermanos, yeah.
Well, thanks, Thomas, for the clip of the week. Thanks, everybody, for listening. We had this show. These are my favorite shows where we go off the rails. We got angry Dave.
When we lose, right?
No, listen. Our motto: we either laugh with the Saints when they win, or we laugh at them when they lose. Like, the jokes are the most important thing to us.
This train never stops.
The fun,
joke train.
You gotta laugh. If you can't laugh, you can cry. You just drink. We'll just drink our way through it. It'll be fine.
We got to find a way to have fun. Look, 5-4, it could be a lot worse. Let's beat Philly. Let's get to 6-4. It'll raise our spirits. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's get this one.
Fill up the Saints Survivor mug. It'll be all right.
Yeah.
Season Survivor mug. It's gonna be all right. So, for Kevin, who's MIA, for Dave, for Andrew, for Thomas running the show in Poland, doing an amazing job. He made sense of my rundown, added a bunch of things late. It was amazing. Thomas is the best producer in the business. So remember, kids, don't shoot your dick off. And until next week, the bar is closed.